All right, looks like I've got everything set up here, and we've already got a couple of folks in chat. Thanks for joining up, everybody. And we're still less than a minute away. Let me know how the audio quality is. I'm getting some warnings from YouTube that that the stream is not at the best level right now. So just let me know if everything's coming across okay, if the sound quality is working as well. And this is going to be a much more casual one today, everybody. So something that I've been wanting to test out. So I thought I'd share it with you while I'm doing the work here. So let me just check really quick. We're going to pop up that YouTube window for just a moment. Yep, the stream's bit rate is still having some issues here. Let me check the stream health really quick. All right, it says the stream status is good, but I still have that warning. So all right, snapshot drones. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know that's good. All right, excellent. So yeah, today I decided to do a live stream early and, well, do a live stream earlier than I thought, putting it into the afternoon. One of the, thank you very much. Excellent. Good, good, good. So I decided, hey, let's just go ahead and do one because there's some things I want to work on today. Normally Thursdays are my website update days for my clients and for my own stuff. So I've been shopping around for some new tools for seemybuild.com. And for those of you new to the channel, so one of the parts of my business that I do for my clients, we do a lot of construction progression reporting, is we actually make customized web pages for the clients that are normally password protected, so available to only them. See My Build here is a test platform for myself, testing out some other ideas. My main platform is azdrone.net, and that's where most of our clients' deliverables are delivered to them. So we actually build custom pages for them. We do pages for every flight. We include video, stills, 360s, time-lapse work. We do a little bit of everything. It's all dependent on what the customer wants. So we show them the types of things that we can do and let them select from it. And that's part of why we've got the See My Build site. But I'm also using this site as an experimentation location for trying out different templates and trying out different ideas. This year in 2022, you're going to see a lot more about our deliverables pages. And I've been holding off and really shifting over to this one over the past few months because of some other projects I've got going on, which will be brought to you here in the near future. Yesterday was a day of 3 different Zoom conference calls, 2 1-hour calls, another 1.5-hour call. I had actually wanted to play with this yesterday, but I was all talked out by the end of the day. So what you're looking at right now, you can head on over there, seemybuild.com. So this is kind of a demo and testing platform for me. And I'm always looking to add new services for our clients. So I want to deliver something that's easy to use, easy to read, easy to see, and it can be shared within construction groups, general contractors, building owners, and then they can share these pages around to show people the progress that's happened on their job site. So that's the whole point of it, because a couple of years ago when I started working with clients, I always felt really bad about, I don't just want to Dropbox something to you. We need to make something out of this. We need to make something cool and informative. And that's where the custom pages came in. So I was looking around for some new tools the other day. I wanted a zoom and pan tool. For those of you who have been on this channel before, maybe seen some of this other material, you know that I've got these great before and after sliders showing the changes in a construction site. Let me scroll down here on the main page. You know, we include video for them. But one of the things that everybody asks me about is one of the silliest things in the world because it's so simple. It's not silly, but it's just, you know, wow, everyone gets super impressed by this thing, and it's kind of a very simple thing. But that's before and after 2D models. So one of the things that we started selling with clients years ago now, and the clients didn't ask for it. I just started presenting it to them. We're going to their sites, we're doing their jobs. It's okay to collect a little extra data because maybe you can make an upsell with the client. And so, you know, one of our first ones that we did, I did an ortho mosaic. They didn't ask for it, but I did the before and after slider for them. And the response was, you know, I've said this to folks on my Patreon channel, the response was amazing. uh, people people really were interested in seeing that type of before and after slider. And it tells you very quickly in just a quick pass what has happened on this job site since our last visit. So let me just take the slider on over. And so we've got April on the left, June on the right, of 2021 June. And you can really see here's, some massive changes have occurred on this property. One of the things that I've been disappointed about with this particular slider, it's a great slider. It's called 2020. So if you're a WordPress user, by the way, 2020 is out there for you. But so such a simple thing, but one of the things that I felt was lacking, I can't zoom in on this, and these images are huge. So if you've done any 2D and 3D modeling with your drone and you go with the full high-end outputs, you're generating massive TIFF files. You're generating stuff that can be printed as a huge map and stuck up on a wall somewhere. And when you get into the bigger sites, you can wallpaper a building. It's crazy the size of these things. And for digital presentation, we don't need to, when we're showing off these types of things, we don't need to import them full size. We can resize these things for easier digital display and making sure that we're not jamming up somebody's bandwidth. So this is one of the things that, just wowed everybody. It's always the request. It's, the first thing, hey, did you get that ortho done yet? And, in the back of my mind, I'm like, how about the flights and the videos we've been doing? But I get why this is so appealing because it's a really quick glance and if construction is on time, if there are delays, and then, for your clients, they can find out where the delays are at. I finally found a zoom in plugin that while it doesn't have the greatest ratings, we're going to be playing with that today. So that was one of the things. So what we normally do here is we'll create the custom pages for the clients, and each of them is different. We've got some very unique properties going on and very unique flights for them. So like the Hughes property here, we start this out, and this was by request from the clients of the page layout. So we can do multiple page layouts. And they wanted to see that video big and up front for this particular family. They also wanted to see their previous flights. So we made that. We even did an interior walkthrough before the building was complete so that people could see, the duct work, the piping, the electrical work. You can see where everything is in the walls. So that was an interesting request as well. So this is just one of our many templates. By the way, I'm getting way ahead of myself. We're using WordPress here, and I'm using the X theme. You do not have to use WordPress to do something like this. So if you're somebody who's using Squarespace, or maybe you are using WordPress with Elementor or something, this all works. So one of the big reasons I'm using WordPress here is all the great plugins and all the extra tools and features available to us. So that's, I've been using WordPress since 2005, I believe. Yeah, it was 2005. And, that's when you were doing the install all by yourself. And so I've been a long-term WordPress user. I've been very happy with it. And like I said, I can make these layouts however I want. Now, with that said, the other platforms out there, you'll have to do a little investigation for yourself to see how you'd present custom pages to your clients. I keep looking over here, so I'm just checking for any chat comments or anything. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and stop me. I'm not in a hurry today. I don't want to keep you too long either, but if something pops to mind for you, just let me know, okay? All right. So another one that we just did, which was a very simple one for a client. This was a raw land site. In total, this was like 100 acres. So this is a massive site. We have a nice little top menu or a top bar here, so they get an idea of what they're going into. Then we have an HD video presentation. Now, this is one interesting thing that we've added recently, and when we start developing another site, we're gonna be taking a page from this. But right now, this video doesn't look hot because it's a little placeholder. This is actually being fed in by Dropbox. So we do utilize Dropbox with our clients if we need to give them a lot of data, but we also do this presentation page. But what's really awesome is there are plugins out there for the Google Drive, for Dropbox, and a couple others, where you can pull your data from there and present it in WordPress. So this is actually being fed in by the Dropbox that I made for my client. We also included a 360 property tour for them. So just showing you through, this is one of the templates. So we have a still image gallery. Normally, normally with still image galleries, I will make a custom gallery with Slider Revolution. Thank you, Roger. I'm glad you like it. Be sure to stop by azdrone.net. That's the primary official site. And this is the demo and testing site. So, you know, most of my clients are hidden under AZ Drone. You won't find all their stuff that's password protected. And we can do that with the pages that I'm showing you here too. So if clients want something private, they can have something private. I always ask them if I can showcase their stuff and utilize it in classes. And some people, they're totally gung-ho for that. Other people, we'd rather you didn't do it. So always ask the question. Anyways, so this still image gallery, this is also being fed by Dropbox, which is really cool. Like I said, though, I also use Slider Revolution, a little more stylized. But one of the things that I want to be able to do is make it easy for the clients to see everything, but also if they want to download everything. Sending somebody a Dropbox link is boring, and usually it's this long set of characters. Here, they can come in here and they can go ahead and download all of this. They can download them one at a time. They can download them in bulk if they actually pull into here. So if we're just looking at an image, we've got the image info, and then we've got the option to download. So maybe the client doesn't like everything that we've presented to them, but they want to keep some. Maybe they just want to send some to MLS. So they can go ahead and download what they need to, send it along to their MLS listings. And we also note, we always let people know, because sometimes we'll do edits for clients too, for some cooler stuff. And so I always let them know if it's MLS ready or if it's not MLS ready. And I ask them the question as well, what's your preferred format for doing MLS? So there we go. There's the still image gallery. And we could add more. So this is just, once again, one other demo of how the layouts can go. So you can split things up. You can do multiple columns if you want to. It's how you want to present things. But one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of our clients are actually viewing this stuff on mobile. And with that in mind, when I'm doing all of these columns and things, all this extra formatting, it's kind of lost on them because they're still going to have a single column view. So more and more lately, I've been thinking about just a really stylized single column view. Now, I'm already logged into here, so I've got See My Build up here, and we're going to go into the dashboard really quick because now I'm going to start showing. Can you see the downloads that they have made? I'm not sure if that's a feature in that particular one, but since we're in here and in the dashboard now, we'll go take a look down at that in a little bit. The tool that allows me to pull in from Dropbox or the Google OneDrive, all these different drives, they actually support 4 different ones, but it's called Out of the Box, and you link it to your Dropbox. And once you're linked to your Dropbox, then you can pull from the Dropbox for the still images, videos, or any other documents you might have in there for them. So we'll look a little closer in there after a snapshot, and we'll see what we've got. But I wanted to show you the overall look. If you're new to WordPress, this is kind of the standard WordPress panel. On the left-hand side, I've got some more buttons than other WordPress users do, and that's because I'm using some new additional tools, additional plugins. And here we are, the image zoom pan. So I've been looking around for this. I was having a tough time finding a good standalone one. Most of the image zoom and panning plugins are designed for WooCommerce, so there's a lot of those. But there's not many just standard ones. So I decided to try this one out because it was a whopping $16. The developer's no longer supporting it, so I took that into account with my decision making and said, I'm going to roll the dice and see if it works. And I played with it just a little bit yesterday, and it does work, so that's awesome. Now, we've got 2 different things basically in WordPress. You got posts, that's kind of your blog posts, and then you've got pages. A lot of people would like some more, robust page builders. So in our case, we use Xtheme. Another great one for WordPress is Elementor, and there's a lot of different ones out there so that you can do block designs and lost myself. So you can do block designs, columns, breaking things up into rows. So there's a lot of ways to come at it for more customized pages for people. What we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a new page, and you're going to see everything. So let's call this live stream testing. So this page is going to be called live stream testing. I am going to go over and I'm going to say that the parent page is one of our Arizona builds. So we'll put that under there. And then for my default template, I'm going to do no container with a header and a footer. Now, you don't have to know all this stuff. So we're just cruising right on through this. But if you were to use an X theme, or just WordPress in general, you'd be learning about some of the extra tools in our page builders. Now, right now we're in the text page builder. When I save this as a draft or publish this, we're going to have access to Xtheme's Cornerstone editor. So we'll be seeing that in just a couple. There's nothing else that I'm going to grab into here right now. We're just building this test page. And I'm going to go ahead and publish it. It's not going to show up in my menus or anything. Nobody's going to know today, hey, Rich just published this. The only people who are going to know that I published a new page are you. So there's a secret new page somewhere on my website. I'm going to go ahead and hit publish on this. So now I've set up a new page, and I haven't really done much with it. And down here we have the standard page editing window. We've got the visual version, we've got the text version, and then we've got Pro. This is Cornerstone, and this is what I utilize. This is what the X theme gives me. So it gives me this really cool page builder, and it says, how would you like to start? From scratch? Use a template, so they've got templates. Clone an existing page, so we can do that. Or we can also load templates. So to start building pages, I'm going to go ahead and do this really quick, and then I'm going to show you something better. So I can choose a layout here, and as you can see, we can do multiple columns. We can do a single blocked area, and we've got a lot of options here. Over on the left-hand side, now that I added something, it tells me I have section 1. So I'm going to choose layout. We're just going to go with big block here. And now that I've gone with the big block, I've got a column and I can put things in it. So over on the left-hand side, right over in here, I've got an element. Let's see. Avada is another stellar theme. All right, Dave, thanks for letting us know that. And, I've got no bias with any themes, so anything that makes it easier on you for laying out and building is fantastic. And if you can give that customized presentation to your clients, it really goes a long way, putting in that little bit of extra effort. So if I wanted to put something in here, I can go over here and I can get an element. So here's all the types of things we can do. There's a lot. I'm going to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There are a ton of tools in Xtheme. I know for a fact there are a ton of tools in Elementor. Jody's been using Elementor recently for one of our customers, because that's what their site was built on originally. So we've been digging into that deeper. Really nice one. So Avada, that's another one we can take a look at. So anyways, you get the idea. There's a lot of tools in here. If you know the tools that you want to use, I can use a text tool. So we can use the new text tool or the classic text tool from the older version of Xtheme. We're just going to drag a text box in here. And now that I have a text box in here, let's go back to our outline. Let's look down there. We have a text box. And if I hit my little inspector, my little magnifying glass, here's my edit text window. So we could put whatever we want in here. Whatever we want. And we can go to the rich text editor, so that now we've got some formatting tools. Once again, this isn't a class on all of this. I wanted to take you guys through, me messing around with this morning. This is kind of casual day in the studio and recuperating from yesterday's million conference calls. So in here, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do heading 1, and let's go ahead and close that. Check it out. Now we've got our heading 1. We could build some more things under here, or we can go back over and we could add another section. So we can move our sections around. So let's add section 2. And let's make that one, let's make it another text box. The other thing is once you have these things together, you can drag and drop. So I could drag this text box up here as well. There's our new one, edit the text, new H2 sample. Like I said, stop me anytime. So I'll do an H2 sample here really quick. You're getting the idea. Let's close that up. So there's the H2 sample. So we could do columns, we could do all these other things. And when we're done with all this, we can also save this as a template, which is what I'm going to do. And that's what I'm going to show you next. So I'm going back over to the page builder outline here. And all I'm going to do is delete section 2 and delete section 1. Look, it's got us back at that intro page again. If you look in the upper left corner over here, I've been making some templates. So for all of these test builds that we've been doing on CMI Build, I've been making templates for them. So I can actually go in here and load a template. And so I even made templates based on a specific customer. So if we're doing multiple things on a project for a client, then 16005 Adobe has its totally custom built. It doesn't take that long to make these either. So as you get used to web building, you'll find that you can move along with this stuff quicker and quicker. So I want to do the 2022 banner bar inline. So that's just the name I gave it for my own reference. So I'm going to select that one. I'm going to say insert. And there we go. On the bottom lower corner, I'm going to hit save. I'm just hitting that save button, and then it yells at me and says, awesome. All right. This should look a little familiar to what we were looking at before. So I have a revolution slider here for my top image. I have a block for my video presentation, and it's carrying over everything from the one I showed you because I saved the template with all the stuff in it to remind me of what I wanted to do. But we can go in here and take out what's in here and put new things in here. So that's what we're going to do here. So I even have that 360 property tour. And once again, these things can all be moved around. So maybe I made this template and I'm using it with several folks, but maybe we want to change the order of some things. We can totally do that. Over on the left-hand side, let's say we've got that latest video, right? I can just click this and drag this above the header. And now the latest video is the #1 thing coming up. And if we scroll down here, there's my revolution slider header. I would like to put that back up to the top. It's that easy. By the way, you can't really break anything. If I made a mess here, don't hit save. Exit the page and then come back into the editor again, and it will discard those changes. But if you did something that you didn't like and you hit save, well, you can slide things around again too. Let me take a look over. Do you let WP Engine manage plugin updates? Dave, I do those manually. So like I said, Thursdays are usually my website days. We do have web clients. We've done a lot of work with RV resorts, some great folks. And so we're always keeping up with their updates. So I am always checking in to make sure plugins are up to date, that we don't have any security updates that are out there. So that's something that we're big on here. Let me see. Healer, good morning from Miracle Beach, British Columbia. You remind me of Bob Ross, well spoken. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I actually grew up watching him, and I always like putting that extra tree in there. So I'm gonna have to tell one of my gallery friends now that someone said something about Bob Ross. Much appreciated. Well, and I'm glad you like the videos too. And let's see, aerial view, Rich, for the videos you're storing on Dropbox, have you determined the optimal size to pull from Dropbox? Well, actually, Aerial View will take a look at that, but I've been doing these as HD videos. It's not killing me on storage. Of course, I've got a higher-end business account with them because we do keep client data for them. So all of our client projects, I still keep it handy for them so they can come back if they need it because maybe they need to reference something. So in the end, for me, I don't mind paying a little extra, and it gets passed along in the final build. So the idea of a secure page for your client, yeah. So you can lock these down as password protected. There are some other privacy settings. There are also a couple other plugins out there so that people aren't viewing the pages, if you don't want them to. Like I said, in my case, I ask my clients point blank. So the big project that we're wrapping up that we started in 2019 and got the first shots in 2020 for Sky Ranch Rome, I asked them, I said, can I do this? And the owner was so enthused about it. He's absolutely, sounds like a great idea. So, I even built in a bit of a discount for him because of that. So that's, I do the same. Yeah, I'm always leery of the auto updates, Dave. Some of the stuff just doesn't hit at the right time. And one of the other things to keep in mind, so I also utilize WordFence. So I get notifications from WordFence and I get notifications from WP Engine. So that's kind of the morning email read through every day for me. So answering YouTube questions, double checking that I don't have any security updates for my web clients. So, it's always busy here in the morning. Fortunately, I'm usually awake at 5:30. So all right, there we go. Now let me just make sure, and welcome to the channel as well. So thanks for stopping in. I'm glad we've got a couple people here today. I didn't know which way it was going to go, but I'm glad that we've got a couple of folks here, and it's also allowing me to toy around with these new tools. We're just going to pull up a second tab. So one of the other things to keep in mind, if you're going to start doing some of these, I love having two monitors next to each other, because usually I'm pulling from Photoshop, I'm pulling from other things on WordPress, I'm popping into different pages, so I like having multiple views. Hold on one sec. So yeah, this is live. I just gotta go move this really quick. And I'm actually thinking it's getting a little warm in here. It's freezing outside like you would not believe. We got 6 inches of snow yesterday, so there you go. And I'm also going to have a quick sip of water. Okay, so there we go. Sorry about the doing that close to the mic. My apologies. I didn't even think of that. So one of the first things we see here on this one, I've got that Revolution slider here. And I'll show you that again. So I'll use Bell Springs as the example. So this isn't just a static image. This is a slider bar. And I want to replicate this for the new page. So what I'm going to do is go back to our dashboard. And we're going to go down to Slider Revolution really quickly. And I'm going to go to Overview. So in the case of this one, we made a slider. So there it is right there, Bell Spring. And that's the page we were looking at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it because I'm lazy. Now we have Bell Springs 1, and we can rename that. I'm going to pull into it. And so these are the extra steps. This is the, what really goes on behind the scenes when I'm assembling one of these. So there's all these little piece parts. So we've got an image in the background, and then the words Bell Springs and Kirkland fade into the scene. And so this is just a really simple animation in Slider Revolution. So down here on the side, I've got the slide background animation. So that's the image fading in. I've got text 0, so that has Bell Springs. And then I've got text 1, and that's Kirkland, Arizona. Now, in the case of this one, this is a different project. So what I want to do here is I've now highlighted Bell Springs, and we're going to change this to Sky Ranch Rome. All right, so there we go. And now I'm going to go down to the second text box. And this is, by the way, this is a real town, Skull Valley, Arizona. So it's a real place. It's right around the corner from us. Well, 20, 30-minute drive. Very interesting little town in the high plains of northern Arizona. The last thing I need to do, I need a different image here. I'm not reusing their image. I want an image for Sky Ranch. So I did a minor amount of prep work for this. So not a ton, but I just had a couple of images for me. What we're going to do is we're going to use the ODM ortho photo generated for the site, and we're going to bring that down into Photoshop. So like I said, I'm pretending that I got home and I'm just going through my process here. So here we go. Here's Sky Ranch. And what I want to do is get the crop tool. And I'm going to make this 1920 by 1080. Let's make sure 1920 by 1080, 72 dpi. Looking good. And actually, though, I know that I'm going to want this about here. I'm going to hit return. And now we've made a much smaller version of this 1920 by 1080 because we're not zooming around in this one or anything. This is just for the top banner bar. One of the things that has bothered me, dear Adobe Photoshop, that I can't just save as a JPEG anymore. You got to go down to export all the time. It's a real pain. I don't have many big complaints for Photoshop, but occasionally they do dumb things like forcing export. So now we're going to call this header.jpg, save it. So I've just saved that one, and now I'm going to look in my little folder just to make sure that I did it. So here we go, header.jpg, cool. Let's go ahead and close Photoshop. So there is my Photoshop moment here, and I'm not going to save that TIFF file because that TIFF file is going to be used later. So now we have the header here. And so what I'm going to do is go back into our slide animation, and in there I can add an image. So I would like to add an image from the media library, and I'm going to upload a file here. Boom, header. So we're just waiting for that to import. And if we check the media library now, let's see. There it is. So there is you can actually see some of the building here. It's outside of our main slide area, but we're just going to move this over a little bit. Oh, and actually, I did not want to do that. So I added an extra image here, which I'm not sure if I wanted to do or not. By the way, it's live, so I might have made a small mistake here. Let's see, again, really quick. Let's look in the media library. There's the piece of media. All right, that is the right size. So let's double check this. I don't want an image too. Let's turn that off. And so, yep, mistakes were made. And that does happen. And let me just check over to make sure I'm not missing anyone else. Second the Bob Ross comment. All right, so we got that one. So I might have made a mess here. Let's save. And I haven't been doing this too often lately. All right, so there is what I'm looking for. And that's close enough for me. We can utilize this one, but we could toy with this later. So I am now going to hit the refresh button on this page, reload, and have to jump back to work. I'll watch the rest. Yep. Glad to have you in, Dave, and I'm glad you enjoy this stuff as well. That's means a lot to me. I'm glad that we've been building this community, and I appreciate all of you, and it lets me know that there's a reason for doing this work and for helping other people along. So, and I enjoy it. All right, so one of the things I can do now, so if I look at the revolution, if I look at the slider, we've got the bell springs. Look, bell springs 1. Remember, I forgot to label that. But I'm going to put bell springs in here now. And now I'm going to go down and save this. And let's just see what happens. So I might have to play with this a little more, but let's open a preview page. Check it out. I've got that bar in there, so that's looking great, but my goofing up did something to the text boxes here. So text 0 and text 1. Now I'm not going to belabor this point, so clearly I need to take that image out of here and redo it properly. And it's also hiding my text 0. Let's put that up. And text 1. Let's move those up and see if that corrects a little bit. So I always get bothered when something doesn't work exactly right, and then I want to go fix it. So, all right, let's hit this again. No, I'm still, oh yeah, there is the fade in, Sky Ranch Rome. Okay, good deal. So that fade in did happen. I just moved those two up. So I'll go repair this after. I'm just going to save this for the moment. And then, I just need to eradicate that image too. So one thing that I should have done, and I usually do, is I upload the images to the media library. I'm usually not selecting the images from the tools like Slider Revolution. So that's a mess up on my part. And let me just see. Okay, so we do have that, and then there's the rest of our stuff. So I'm going to close Slider Revolution now, and we'll just go back here. So Rich has some fixing to do still. And let's see in here. So next part is our HD video presentation. And so that's, as I said to you, I've got that connected via Dropbox. So let's go here and click. So this is a text box that has my HD video presentation, and then I've got some written content here. If I go in and edit the text, we can see that, where is it? Right here. So our little paragraph symbols, and I'm using the plugin out of the box. So out of the box is that plugin for Dropbox. So I pop that one in there. So what do I need to do? I need to go use out of the box, make a new shortcode, and then I can pop the shortcode right into here. So we're gonna get ourselves ready to do that. What I'm gonna do is go to See My Build with that second tab, and we're gonna scroll on down to out of the box. There we go. And I want to do the shortcode builder. So here we go. What do I want to do? Well, it gives me a bunch of options here in out of the box. I can do a file browser so people would feel like they're on Dropbox. I can upload box. I can include the photo gallery, which we've seen. I can include an audio file. That's nice. I can include a video player. There we go. I want that video to be up next. So go down to content here really quick. And I've got access to my whole Dropbox. You are seeing my whole Dropbox. So let's keep scrolling and scrolling. Let's see. There we go. So the client has multiple subfolders as well. Let me take a look here. I was just making sure, checking on the chat really fast. So they have multiple subfolders as well. Like I said, we make sure that our clients still have access to their data after we're done working the project. I think it's really important to provide a level of support to clients, and it does bring them back to you. So just a little aside there. All right, so our most recent flight, because everything got slowed down on their ranch, between materials and builders and stuff, these things happen. It's a weird economy right now. So we took a big hiatus from doing a couple of flights for them. We are doing 2 more wrap-up flights for them in the really near future, and I can't wait, and I will be sharing that with everybody on the channel too, because it's such a cool build. So I've gone into the folder, and now I'm going down to a folder called Web Ready Video. So there it is. There's my Web Ready Video, and I could use private folders if I wanted to. I'm going to go over to my layout now. I wanted it 100%. We're going to go with auto for the module height. We're not doing any custom CSS, but if you're into doing your own cascading style sheets, you could. No real sorting going on here. It's only one video. Let's go to advanced just to be sure. Okay, I don't have autoplay set. And enable video advertisements, I don't have that as well. Now, you could also just, instead of going through all of this process, sign up with YouTube and host it on YouTube, right? And you can put an embed code in there. I do that with some of my customers, but I have had customers who've noted, I don't want to see YouTube advertisements in this, and I don't want to see that, advertisement end screen or other suggested videos. I want it to just be mine. Well, out of the box does that for you. So now that I got I think I've got everything set up the way I want to. I'm going to click shortcode. So I'm copying that shortcode there. And actually, because I just don't trust the copy to clipboard button, I did a Control C as well. I'm going to close this. Let's go back to that page. We left off in that page with our out of the box everything. So I'm just going to highlight this all the way over to the end of that paragraph, hit Control V, and this is crazy. So let's go ahead and close that. Check it out. The new video is up, pulled from their Dropbox, and I hit save here as well. What we can do now, just to double check ourselves, is let's go ahead and do a preview again. So there's my header bar that the fade in's a little too long. Then we come down to the HD presentation. So I need to go back and retype all this stuff too. But absolutely, there's our Sky Ranch Roam. If I click this, and by the way, so just so you know, Dropbox does feed it out in a high def format. And oh, there's a tool that I didn't turn on. So one of the things I didn't turn on were all my buttons down below where I can download the video. So the client is welcome to download the video. So in that outside of the box thing, I just forgot to click a checkbox. Really easy to come back and actually do that. So, and I'm sure you get the idea too. You saw all the slider buttons in there. So I could easily and quickly, let's go ahead and pause this video, shall we? And let's go back to the shortcode. So somewhere in here, I can turn on, so okay, let me see, my general, let's go with layout here. All right, so there's where I can turn on and off some of the tools, playlists. There's the download button that I totally forgot. So if I were to turn on that download button right now, I'd have to copy that short link again. So, if you play with outside of the box, it's pretty easy and straightforward. One of the folks here on channel, Joe, is also using it, not with Dropbox. I think he's using it with Google. So chime in if you're still here with us, Joe, because I can't remember which one you were using there. But so there's a couple of things for me to fix things up. All right, I'm going to close that preview bar. So now we've updated our top. We've added our video. We could add our 360 property tour. So this is where now we're going outside of the website to yet another service. I wish that there was a service provider that put all of these together. Maybe there will be someday. You'll have to watch this channel close to see. There's my teaser for the morning. So I can go over and do I have stuff set up for this? Yes, I do. So let's go to Kula. Let's sign in really quick. And now let's go take a look. Under my tours. Yes, Google. Thanks, Joe. So that outside of the box works with Google as well, and I think Microsoft's storage solution as well. Now I'm just gonna do Control F here, and because I am just looking for Sky, there we go, Sky Ranch Roam, and so this is one of my privated ones. I am going to grab a link or embed code. I'm going to grab the embed code. We're not doing this for MLS. I'm going to do a copy, and let's get ourselves back to here. So this is all taking place in a text box as well. So here we go. The top area, so I'm just seeing, there's the center right there of the iframe. So, and there is the Kula information right there. So I'm just highlighting this here and Control V. And now that I've done that, did I save it right? Let's see. Scroll on down. Oops, I blew up the internet. Okay, I thought there was a problem there. So let me double check this. Let's go into rich text really quick. Oh, it made some kind of weird thing there that I didn't mean for it to make. Now that we've fixed that, let's also go ahead and delete that. There we go. And now let's go back into HTML, return, and now we'll put that iframe in there. Boom, fixed it real quick. So by the way, you're gonna run into little things here and there. They're gonna pop up and you're gonna say to yourself, what did I do wrong here? Never panic. Just take a moment to go ahead. If you know how to look at HTML, pop into the text editor and look at the HTML real quick. You'll usually find that you overlap something or you didn't have an open and closed bracket somewhere. So very simple stuff. But now that we've got this one, so by the way, can you see how useful the template is? Because I'm just replacing the old video with a new thing, the old 360 with a new thing. So it's nice and easy when you make these templates to quickly go through this. So normally, I'm talking to all of you right now, so I'm a little distracted. But normally, I go through one of these things in about 20 minutes tops. And let's go ahead and preview on the front end again. So there we go with my top banner. I need to fix that little mess up that I made. There's our HD video presentation. Here's our 360 property tour. Jody had a lot of fun with this one because, we were doing this just as an extra thing, but we first got into this location. The changes have been just incredible. The property owners got a real kick out of this as well. And on the left-hand side, we also made a little mini map area for people to go between each of the points that they're doing. So you can actually click into the mini maps as well. And then we used a little horseshoe symbol since this is a ranch, just little extra touches to help your clients enjoy it. Even construction groups, when you do these types of things, while we do, private property owners, we work with construction groups and builders, they get a kick out of seeing some of these formats as well. So I've gotten some really great feedback on the 360s from clients over the years now. So next one's going to be still image gallery. So let's close that because we're still working our way down. So that still image gallery here, maybe we won't even play with that one right now because I just looked at the clock and I'm killing you guys probably, I'm sorry. But I wanted to show you one additional thing that just made my day, and that was that zoom pan tool that I recently found. So maybe what we'll do here, we'll pretend that these images are associated with the main page, with this property. You know what I'm going to have to do with it. I'm going to have to go back in to the outside the box and then do a still image gallery selection, copy that shortcode, paste it in here, and we're good to go. But here's what we're going to do instead. I'm going to go back over to the outline. So we've got the header, and I put these little labels on here for myself. I've got a grid. Let's do this as a full layout here. And what's going to go into here, we're going to put another text box in here. So I'm just dragging that text box on over. And there we go. I can see it. I'm just going to make it stand out for myself. Boom. Right. Let's do rich text. Hello. Sometimes the clicks on X theme behave weirdly. So I'm just going to do this big. Oh, that's way too big. Just to remind myself where we're at when we come back here. So input your text here. This is where we're going to put the new zoom pan on. So what we're going to need to do, number one, let's go ahead and open Sky Ranch again. So I would like to use my ortho photo that I got out of ODM. So tying back to our web ODM class. So this ortho photo is 176.7 megs. Nobody is going to wait for that to download. Fortunately, though, we can go, I'm going to drag this on down to Photoshop. So there's the second use of Photoshop in here. That's why I also like multiple screens. So I just escaped out of the crop tool. What we're going to do is go into the image size here, and we're going to drop this down to 4096. And so this is an arbitrary number. This is 4096 pixels. Is something that Metashape actually offers on export of GeoTIFFs. So GeoTIFFs do get huge at times. And with that in mind, we're not uploading them to the website and easily viewing them. So let's make a JPEG. So I'm just going to say OK to this. And now we've got a smaller JPEG, but I can still zoom in to 100%. So we should be able to do this on the website too. I want to be able to zoom in this much, and it should be easy enough. So let's export this. Export it as, and I want to do a JPEG again. We're going to export this as Sky Ranch Zoom tool. Okay. I'm going to save it. And we should be done with Photoshop now. I'm not going to save the TIFF because I don't want to overwrite that TIFF right now. So there we go, Sky Ranch right there. First thing I'm going to do, like I said before, normally I should just drag things into my media library before I'm working with particular plugins. So that's what I'm doing this time. So I'm going to add a new image, and that's the Sky Ranch right there. And did it get it? Okay, yeah, the little slider bar is going. All right. So let's close that one out, make sure I haven't missed any other chats. I have not. And we'll be wrapping this up shortly. I thought probably be an hour, and it sure was. So there we go. Now I have that new one, and we can utilize that for that zoom tool. So here we go. So this image zoom pan, I'm going to add a new zoom pan. This is a little odd. Like I said, the developer's no longer supporting it, but that's okay. It does work. And I said, the worst I'm going to lose is 16 bucks here. And there was a couple other ones for a few dollars more, $69 and $89. And another one of them was also listed as not supporting the plugin anymore, which is a shame. So let's call this live stream Zoom. We're going to give it a name. And then my option is to add an image. So I'm going to browse, and we're going to add that JPEG that we just made in Photoshop. I'm going to save that now. Oh, no, I'm not going to save that yet. Next thing I want to do, 1920, I'm going to do this 1280. So I'm making an arbitrary number here for myself. Let's see. Let's call it 720 maybe. You can play with this as well. And let's see in here, I need to publish this before I get to see what's happening. So now that I've hit publish on this, you'll look down and ugh, that background is hideous. But we can fix that. But here's the deal. There's a plus and minus symbol right down here. Plus, plus, plus. And we are zoomed all the way in. We're zoomed to the level that we just saw with the TIFF while we were in Photoshop too. So now not only can I do the before and after sliders for my clients, now we can give them this zoomable orthomosaic so they can get really tight in here and get a look at the whole property. I can just hold that minus button out as well. So we're just playing with this on its preview at the moment. And let's see. I am not a fan of that background, so I'm going to save that. And now we've just got a plain white background in there. All right, I'm happier with that. And I need to play with my the container height and container width right now. I'm going to have to deal with that just a little more to get that fixed right up here. So now let's make sure, I'm going to just double check my save. Okay, good deal. And any other tool on here that we can utilize? Where is our shortcode for this thing? Well, I'm going to show you where the shortcode is. Under image zoom. So we had that add new, and we just got the image zoom. And there is the live stream zoom. So I'm just going to copy. And let's head on down here to that text box that we left on that page that we were working on. I'm going to go to the HTML version of it. Zoom pan 154. And seriously, this is really weird that this won't close sometimes. All right, so I hit save on this. So now let's go back to a preview really fast. So there's that top banner bar that Rich has to fix. Here's the video presentation, looking good. Adding in their 360 tour, okie dokie. We've got the 360 view for them, the still image gallery. Whoops, my apologies. I thought I had shut that one down. So there we go. I've added that one in here now. So maybe you could do a little something more with the background, you know, bring it into Photoshop, do a little bit more with it. You can also add multiple images to this. So I could have a scroll arrow on here. So we could do a before and after zoomable set. They won't be layered right on top of each other, but you could go look at January and, you know, go look at June and, you know, get that zoom in to see the changes too. So I'm pretty excited about this, and I'll be sharing this one with my clients as well, because absolutely love that zoom in there. That's really giving them some great feedback. By the way, that how big was that image? I forgot to double check that. How large was that finally? Because you could go with a higher resolution. Oh, I should have right-clicked that instead. Get info here. And 7.5 megs. At this point, I worry about bandwidth less and less over the years. You know, back in the day when we were first on dial-up, you're always watching the size. But so, see, by the way, we can just pan right around in here as well. So I hope this gives you an idea of, you know, here's the workflow that I do. Now, once again, I can do this layout any number of ways. By the way, let's say you're doing this from scratch and you want all of these items in here, the still gallery and everything. When we go back to the main area here, remember our load a template that we did? Look right here, save a template. So if we're super happy with some of the changes we made in here, you know, moved some things around, you know, for presentation for the clients, you can always make another new template. And so, like I said, we've been experimenting with multiple ones. So Jody had set up a couple different ones. I set up one specifically for video as well. I'm not inserting anything here because this was our test platform. So if you have any questions right now, since we're at 10:55, and I wasn't meaning to drag you that long, but I hope this has been fun and informative for you. And you can see what we've been doing with the See My Build site. Now I'm going to go back through this after this demo and I'm going to get it set the way I want because I do actually want to put it on the page because I do have someone I want to share it with. So especially the Zoom pan. So it's really nice and easy. When you make the web page, just copy the link, send it to whoever you need to. They get to see everything, you know, everything that's gone on with that build site. So I hope this has spurred some ideas for you if you're doing your own private pages. And, you know, we're going to have, I'll be updating you over 2022 because we have some ideas in mind. I'm working with a couple other folks to make this type of work even easier. But if you can't wait for it right now and you want to get going on it, I totally understand. I like doing this stuff too. It's a lot of fun. Let's see, snapshot. So very useful. All right, right place, just the right time. Cool. I'm glad that you found this one a useful snapshot. And just a reminder to everyone, be sure to like and subscribe on the channel. Just to let you know, we do have a really nice group of patrons on our Patreon account as well. And I do offer online courses. So I used to have an online course for doing this type of WordPress work with Xtheme. I discontinued it the other year because the updates were happening so fast and furious. It was, you know, it can turn into a full-time job just keeping up with one of the web builders. Xtheme did do some major changes that I did actually redo a big chunk of the class shortly after one of their releases. But if you have questions on this type of stuff, if you're interested in seeing more of this, we do have some other videos on the Patreon channel because we've gone over this for our business building on that channel as well. So pop on by, you can you know, see what what we're about there. And then also with the online classes, if you go to classes.azdrone.net, you'll see what we have up right now. And if you have suggestions for classes, let me know because I like putting these things together. By the way, for those of you who are new around here, we do have a new class coming out. It's being beta tested by some of our patrons, and I've gotten some great feedback so far. So that's probably going to be launching really, really soon. So keep your eyes out if you're interested in using WebODM, so an open source mapping application. And for everyone who's on the YouTube channel and stuff, we'll be doing a discount coupon. So keep your eyes out for that one. And if you're interested in building 3D models, I think this will be a real fun one for you. And you might have some aha moments that you don't have to spend a ton of money to develop 2D and 3D models. All right, everybody, you have a great rest of the week here. I'm not going to do any more conference calls today. So sorry for the impromptu video or live stream, but you know, I just got it in my head. Let's go ahead and do this while we're awake and not answering a lot of other calls. Let's get rolling. So glad it worked for some of you, and we'll see you again really soon. And like I said, have a great end to your week. End the stream. And